What's up? This is Steve Cody. I'm going to talk about narcissism. People who are in your way, you know who they are. You can say that they're not in your way, but they really are, because they're on your mind. If they're not in your way, they're not on your mind. One thing that you have to be able to cultivate is humility. You have to actually be humble. You have to know when you're being hurt. You can't deny when people are hurting you. When you have pride, you keep moving forward and you keep thinking that you can just push the pain aside and let the people abuse you here and there, and you can just take the high road and you can let that fester. You can let that pain envelop. You can let that pain get inside of you while you're working, while you're making money, while you're bettering yourself, while that fly, while that tick, while that parasite just eats away, and you're just sitting there like, why? Why is this going on? Why can't this go away? And the conditioning tries to tell you it's okay, it's a part of life. It's not a part of life. It shouldn't be. That is a parasitic relationship. That is people parasitizing on you. Their energy is eating away at you. You can't let that happen. You have to be immune. Develop neurological immunity. How you do that is you listen to yourself. You express yourself. You listen to the inner spirit. You bring it out into the universe, just like I'm doing now. Did I plan for this video? No. Do I know what I'm going to say? Yes. Is anything written? No. How am I doing this? Because my spirit is letting me know what I have to get out. Seek and you shall find. And you find by expressing yourself outward. And the universe will reward you. People will hear your message. I'm doing this to help people. I'm not doing this for pride. I'm not doing this for vanity. I'm not doing this for an agenda. I'm not doing this for making money. I'm doing this because I experience pain. I go through pain every day, just like you do. We're all human beings. We go through pain. And I want that pain for you to be gone. My pain needs to be gone. Everybody's pain needs to be gone. The only way that that can happen is if we actually look at ourselves. We see who we really are. We look in the mirror and we know what our flaws are. We take responsibility for who we are. We know our weaknesses. We understand our weaknesses. We gauge what's wrong, what's right within us, so we can cultivate the true essence of who we are. And we can have healthy relationships with people because we are coming from a place of security. We're coming from a place of authenticity. We're coming from a place of reality. You're not living in reality when you're catering to other people. You're living in their reality. That's their reality. And you're paying their bills. Don't let that happen. Your reality is your reality. When people see that, they know that. They experience that. And they like that. People like it when you're succeeding. People like it when you're helping others. That's what we were put here to do. We were here to help our fellow brother, sister, neighbor, everybody. Love thy neighbor as thyself, just as Christ said. And you know that there are people who you love them and they hate you while you're loving them. Don't inherit the toxicity. Get the venom out. Thought I heard something. Somebody, some birds. Oh, bird. But that's what you have to do. You have to heal. You have the right to heal. Healing is a part of life. In society's paradigm, healing isn't a part of life. Suffering is a part of life. In order to get where you need to be, you need to suffer. Blah, 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 blah. Who the hell would want to suffer their entire life just to get some recognition? True recognition is when the universe is smiling at you. When the universe is smiling at you. When you look at the sun and you love it. When internally you're fulfilled. You're a flower. You're taking in the sunlight with no guilt, because there's no guilt to be had. There's no need for guilt. If you've made mistakes in your past, just like Jesus said, all has been forgiven. God knows your true value. Not one person on the planet knows your true value except God. That's why people try to live their lives getting validated. Narcissists. But it's a failure, because the validation is ethereal. It's fleeting. It comes, it goes. It's not real. True peace is when you have true peace. You don't need to find other people to validate you. What you need is to express yourself, and the validation comes naturally. But you can't rely on others to validate you. You can't hope that when you put yourself out there, people are going to validate you, because that's not the way the world works. The way the world works is people are out for themselves. In Christianity, you can say it's an evil world. Jesus says, I am not of this world. Do not follow the ways of the world. And I ascribe to that. I don't follow the ways of the world. Because I would always be trying to get validation from a dysfunctional standpoint. When you get validation from an authentic standpoint, from a healed standpoint, from a mentally healthy standpoint, that is real validation. That is when you're living your purpose. That is when you know who you're supposed to be. All the flaws that you have, it doesn't matter. Because we all have flaws. And that's something that a narcissist can't accept. A narcissist can't accept that they're just trillions of cells, 7 trillion cells, operating in unison. We live, we die. We go through pain, we go through mishaps. We're human. Perfection doesn't exist. Progress exists, but perfection is within. You express perfection. and you evolve while you're expressing perfection. And when that light shines, darkness comes. Darkness can see the light. Darkness tries to take over the light because it cannot accept light. It cannot accept love. That's something that you have, and it's something that they want, something that they've never had. They might have had a little bit, but they've had so little that they gave up, that they became bitter, that they decided to take out their problems on the world instead of resolving their inner conflict. They decided not to take the responsibility to be an adult. They decided to have a mask, a charade of being an adult. You could have all of this, you could pay your own bills, you could do all of this, but hurting people. What kind of adult is that? That's not an adult. An adult is somebody who is responsible for himself or herself, who takes care of himself or herself, who helps others, who doesn't do it out of necessity, who does it out of want. You give because that's what you want to do. When you're a good person, you naturally flow. You let things go. You help people because there is nothing that you want in return. With narcissists, they only help you because they want something in return. That's not true help. That's conditional lying for their own gain. So when people try to tell you, hey, I care about you, I want to help you, I want what's best for you, but if you get that feeling from your intuition, like, this person is pushing on my boundaries, they're going a little too far, I don't feel comfortable with this, they're trying to hurt my confidence, they're trying to make me confused, they're trying to make me doubt myself, that's not true help. True help is when somebody comes to you and they say, hey man, you alright? If you need any help with anything, I'm here. I'm just letting you know. That's true help. Anything that infringes upon your boundaries is a lie. And that is one of the biggest tactics that a narcissist uses, is infringing on your boundaries. They know that you want to get back at them. They know that you want to get revenge. They know that you're sick and tired of what they've done to you. So that to them is like candy. They can add on because you haven't responded to them in an aggressive manner, fighting back. The problem is, when you fight back, you're making them feel validated. You're making them feel like they actually matter. They don't matter. Realistically, if somebody wants to hurt you, they don't matter. You have to have thick skin. You have to be strong. You have to be a man. You have to be a woman. You have to take charge. You have to do this. There is no, I need to be good in order to. No, if you have to be an asshole, be an asshole. If you have to be a bitch, be a bitch. Nothing wrong with that. You think a gazelle is going to be nice to a lion when it's trying to eat it? No. Stand your ground. Be a warrior. It's either that or you'll perish. You have to see things from a realistic standpoint. This whole lovey-dovey family, we have to be like this. I gotta break it to you. The majority of families are dysfunctional, and they accept the dysfunction as if it's a normal part of life. What kind of person would want to live so limited? Do not live limited. you won't be able to experience as much as you're experiencing now. When you're being who you are, when you come from who you are, you actually do what you want to do. You don't give in to, do this, you'll be happy. Nah. There's always going to be a part of you that says, I need to escape. Escape. Alcatraz is a lie. The universe is infinite. Put yourself out there. There's over 7 billion people on the planet that want to hear you, that want to hear what you have to say. Some petty people from your past, you might have had relationships with them for decades. That's just more time for you to know who they really are. And now you know who they are. So why are you obligated to stay in a relationship with people, to help people who want to hurt you when there's over 7 billion people on the planet? You think you're going to die if you break up with them? If you let them go? If you move on with your life? You think you're a bad person if you do that? You're a bad person if you let yourself get hurt. But I'm not trying to put guilt on you or anything like that. That's not why I'm here. But it is self-defeating when you're allowing yourself to get hurt just because you want to try to hold on to a lie. You have to have radical acceptance. Accept that some people that you've loved for decades, that you've cared about, that you were family with, the family, they wanted to hurt you. They disrespected you. They ignored you. They rejected you. They told you that you were wrong. They didn't listen to you when you were trying to help them. And then when you leave, they try to attack you because you're living your own life. Nah. When you came from good intentions, people who are functional, people who are normal, would be in a normal relationship with you. They would see where you're coming from. They would listen to what you're saying. They wouldn't have to hold their stance. Because an adult actually is not rigid. An adult isn't a one-track thinker. An adult is open to anything. Anything. You see what I'm saying? When it's their way, just that way, that's one way in the universe of infinite possibilities. That's how small they are. They're just one. They're not infinite. That's why they're so small. That's why they hate themselves, because they can only operate from one dimension. A dimension of hatred, of trying to take people down, of trying to fulfill their ego, of trying to make themselves feel better. That's the only way that they know how to do it. Because they're in too much pain to be able to open themselves up. They're too scared to open themselves up. You're not scared. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. They're scared. They're holding on to a philosophy, to a lifestyle, to a way of living that is just one dimension. And it's one dimension. It's a dimension of hatred. It's a dimension of Satanism. It's a dimension of demonic possession. It's a dimension of lies. It's a dimension of abuse. It's a dimension of breaking up families. It's a dimension of dysfunction. It's a dimension of flying monkeys. It's a dimension of bullshit. That bullshit is something that you don't have to be a part of. You can be in nature. You can go to the gym. You can have friends. You can enjoy life without apologizing. The guilt that people try to place on you, if they were actually good people, if you apologize for mistakes that you've made, they would move on. Bad people corrupt people, hurtful people, they would hold on to that even if you apologized, because they want to get the one up on you. They want to take you down. So realistically, when you hurt them, you could even say it was justified. Because if you hurt somebody and you apologized from sincerity and they still held on and they still tried to hurt you, that is immaturity. If people hurt me and they apologize, I forgive. I'm a Christian. I forgive people. There are aspects of Christianity where if you hold on to loving and things like that, you're gonna fall victim to narcissistic abuse. So the spirit aspect of you, the true self, who you really are, has to come to grips with people who want to lie to you, people who want you to hold on to guilt, people who want you to apologize. You've already apologized. You've already explained yourself. You've already told them the story. You've already told them how you want to make things better. But they don't want to. They want you to believe that if you keep giving into it, that they'll make things better, that it will be better, that you'll get back to how things were so great. Yeah, you could have had good experiences back then. But we're adults. We're not children. And sometimes people who you were friends with back then, who you were family with back then, it could have been loving relationships. But in adulthood, people can change dramatically. People can take their masks off. People can be a completely different person. Somebody that you don't even want to associate with. Their physical appearance is still the same, but their mental faculties are disrupted, distorted, confused, beat down by societal pressures. And they followed that religion of societal pressures. So they gave up their moral compass in order to better themselves. So when you try to hug them, they'll stab you, and they'll expect you to try to heal your wound while you're bleeding and make the relationship work while they continue to stab you. And they'll try to act like they're justified because it's the way that society works. That is a lie. Put your armor on. Fight back. See them for who they are. Take charge. Take control of your life. You're the one who's responsible for your life. Defeat anyone who tries to get in your way. Much love.